Three books that have influenced and inspired me the most, outside of the Bible, of course, are these three right here, and I wanted to share them with you guys really quickly. So the first one is this one right here. It's called Washed in Waiting by a guy named Wesley Hill. Powerful book on reflections of Christian faithfulness when it comes to the topic of homosexuality and same-sex attraction. This guy Wesley Hill is phenomenal. He does an amazing pastoral job at just shepherding people's hearts through this book, especially Christians who struggle with same-sex attraction or related to that issue. He is a Christian himself who has some of those temptations and struggles, but just the way that he unpacks this book for someone who struggles with anything, he just does a phenomenal job at the hope that we have as Christians with certain things in our lives that God is wanting to redeem us. And the next book is in the topic of discipleship, and it's Deep Discipleship by J.T. English. This book is probably the best book on discipleship I've read so far. One of my favorite quotes from this book is, "Discipleship is a reorientation of all that you love for him who is most lovely." It's just an amazing quote. Consider the reorientation that takes place when we submit ourselves to Jesus. The next book is in the topic of leadership, and it's a book called Canoeing the Mountains by a guy named Todd Bolsinger. And the whole premise is Lewis and Clark were tasked with traveling to the west to explore and find the Pacific Ocean. They believed that they could take canoes the whole way there from Washington, D.C. What happened was, along the way to the West Coast, they realized they had to ditch the canoes and get some horses. And so the whole idea is like, what happens in your life when you have to adapt, and what you thought was going to happen is not what will happen moving forward. You have to pivot. You can't take your canoes over the mountains because they face the Rockies, and they were like, shoot, we can't take canoes over the Rockies. And so they had to ditch the canoes and get some horses, and it's all about adaptive leadership in like the space of Christian leadership. And so these three books have been extremely influential in my life. Check them out. I will put the links to them in the video. But hey, if there's any other subjects or books or content you guys would like me to talk about and discuss, feel free to drop them in the comment section. Make sure you like them, subscribe this video. Thanks for listening today.